This is Middle Class Matt from don'tbuythehype.blogspot.com. And I am the sports genius. Now, I'm always talking about what I buy the hype and what I don't buy the hype with. And I have never bought the hype on Cam Newton. Ever. I hoped I was wrong because I'm a big Panther fan. And I hoped he succeeded. If he succeeds, I succeed. I'm a Panther fan. I want to see him win a Super Bowl. I want to see him win multiple Super Bowls. But I'll get back to Cam. I usually complain about the Panthers' defense. And I haven't put a lot of blame on Cam this year. Now, I know I predicted a sophomore slump. I only predicted the Panthers to win 8 or 9 games, depending on which prediction you look at. Either the schedule prediction or the preseason prediction. And a lot of people are picking them to go to the Super Bowl and stuff. Make the playoffs, go deep. Win the division. These seem to be fantasies now. And I complain about defense. The Panthers ignore getting defensive tackles, stopping the run. They ignore getting good corners. They go out and invest money in a linebacker who's great, except for the linebackers usually tackle the guy about 4 or 5 yards, after he's already, run for half the first down. So, I've had those problems with defense, but I'm not going to get into that because the defense played well this game against Seattle. Captain Mutterland got a pick 6, and they got a safety. The defense scored 9 points. If you score 9 points in a low-scoring game with your defense, you usually win. But not when your offense scores 3 points. And it solely rests on Cam Newton. One thing before I really get into the big-time flaws with Cam Newton, why is he not throwing to Greg Olsen? Does anybody know about that? Last year I complained because I was like, quarterbacks don't just dump it off to the tight ends. That's what Michael Vick does, and he doesn't know how to play quarterback. But he's not even going to Greg Olsen this year. I don't understand that. Maybe he's mad with him or something. Or he's criticized him in the locker room. I have no idea. If anybody has any insight, I'd love to hear about that. But Cam Newton and the flaws. Running quarterbacks, athletic quarterbacks, do not work in the NFL. Now, if there's a passer who happens to be athletic, a pocket passer, that works. Look at Aaron Rodgers. Great. He's the MVP. How about Andrew Luck? Look how good he is. He's athletic. And even the guy that Cam faced this weekend, Russell Wilson, who is a great comparison to compare and contrast the two different people and the difference between the two quarterbacks. Seattle's Russell Wilson led a drive, scored a touchdown, did enough, had a pretty good game, but did enough to win the game against the Panthers on the road after traveling West Coast to East Coast, which is very difficult if anybody knows about the jet lag from that. Russell Wilson has intangibles off the chart. He is a leader of men. He looked awesome in the Gruden interview. Cam Newton couldn't even name a play that he ran at Auburn. Cam, name a play. Oh, man, don't put me on the spot like that. That's a quote. And Russell Wilson showed this game why he can play in the NFL. And Cam Newton showed why he might not be able to. Now, I had someone told me, and this is kind of a joke, kind of fantasy, but he said, if we could just take Russell Wilson's personality and stick it into Cam and his mind into Cam, he'd be the best quarterback in the NFL. That's true. The problem is that really great athletes depend on their athleticism. That's what they do. They think, man, why am I going to throw the ball when I can run? Russell Wilson can run too. Now, Cam Newton is a better athlete in every category. And there's no reason even to match him up like arm strength and speed and size. He's better. Cam Newton's better. But Russell Wilson is better in all the intangibles. Every single one of them. He's better. Cam Newton is out there running the ball, leading the Panthers in rushing. That's horrible. Your quarterback should never leave you in rushing. Ask RG3 about running quarterbacks, how that works out. He can't even name the quarter, or the score because he's unconscious from running. It is dumb. And the Panthers are out there running option while other people are running complex NFL offenses. It's not going to work. It's not going to happen. I wanted the Panthers to succeed. I wanted Cam Newton to work out, but it's like one of those things where you see your friends doing stupid stuff and they're pulling some scheme, getting in a pyramid scheme, and you hope it works out for them, but deep down it's probably not going to. If it does, good for you. Maybe they can help you out. You want your friends to succeed. But logically it's just not going to work. That's Cam Newton. Listen to these stats. 19 of 29. Terrible. 141 yards. Not good. Quarterback rating according to ESPN's scale, 15. Horrible. Horrible. The guy's just terrible out there. You have 3 games like that in a row, if you're a normal quarterback, and not Cam, he's going to have a long leash because of all the money and the hype. 3 games like that in a row, you go to the bench. You have 6 games like that in a row, you're no longer the starter. You have a season like that, you don't play in the NFL anymore. Just ask Vince Young. 2 Pro Bowls. 2 Pro Bowls. But he never was an NFL pocket passer. He's now less than 30 years old, broke and not in the NFL. And I see Cam going down that same road. I really do. I hope he does not. But my thing is this. Matt Ryan struggled down in Atlanta. Couldn't get his team to be an elite team. Wasn't really the elite quarterback. Nobody put him up there with the Mannings and the Bradys and the Breezes and the Aaron Rodgers. No one did that. But you know what he kept saying? People say, you're not at an elite level. He's like, you're right, I need to be. I need to work. I need to do it. I need to get better. He took that blame on himself. And he had the personality that I'm going to do it if it kills me to do it. Look at Cam's body language. Bad. Looks bad. Middle class Matt is a huge fan of prize fighting. Do boxing videos. Going to do a boxing video for the upcoming no-nair fight. Gonna do that. I've seen prize fighters come to the ring. I mean ready. And get in the ring and just try to knock them out. And then they get hit. And all of a sudden their body language changes. And they're beaten. That's what Cam looks like. Even when he's running the team, his face says beaten. On the other side of the ball, Russell Wilson, he outplayed him. With all the limitations he has physically, he outplayed him because he has the personality and the leadership ability to do it. And he'll never lose confidence. Even if he loses, he's like, I'm going to win next game. That's the way he is. Do you ever see Breeze, Brady, Mannings, Rodgers going around like this before the game? I don't. I don't ever see him act like that. Because real leaders don't act that way. I've seen prize fighters act that way, and then I see them get knocked out, and then I've seen them look like puppy dogs. And Cam looks like that. So between his demeanor, and look, Scouts said this. People, when I was telling them not to vote, I said that this pick of Cam Newton would set the Panthers back 5 to 10 years. I'm hoping that's not true. This guy's got all the skills to be a great player. He's got to work harder. If he works harder, maybe he can figure it out. Maybe the Panthers can be better. But there's some bad signs. Him leading the rushing, him always wanting to run, his attitude, his demeanor, his lack of ability to be a pocket passer. Now, he's young. He can still develop. But they threw him in the wild, and he succeeded too quickly. And now that he's failing, he looks like a rookie this year and looked like a veteran last year. He's digressed that much. Terrible. Horrible. So, I hope Cam can turn it around. I hope he can do it, but there's some bad signs there, and it does not look good for Panther fans. Check out all my NFL videos. It's Middle Class Matt from don'tbuythehype.blogspot.com.